Well, hello everyone. So you join me in my car. We're down at the seaside. We're down here in Siam, and we're going to be playing around with my new lens, which is the Fuji FX 8mm f3.5 lens. I have not used this lens at all on location yet. I had a little bit of a play around the house yesterday. It was really cool. So it's going to be interesting to see what the characteristics of this lens is. And also how it fares with my filter holder system. Now, my filter holder system is the Lee 100 holder. I do use step-up rings, and I'm going to have to use it for this one because my adapter rings for my filter holder system only go to 77mm. An 8mm in full frame format is 12mm, and I know with a Lee 100 holder, typically with an adapter ring, a 16mm is what you can get away with before you start to see the holder come into play. So I suspect we will see the holder come into view, probably on the edges at some point. Anyway, better grab my bag and head down there. One thing I'm not aware of is just how high tide is yet. From what I can see down there, I haven't seen it this high before, so we might not be able to get onto the beach. I'm hoping we can. We've got just what we want. I can walk along that beach. That sea stack is what I really want to do. See the thing off in the distance there? Yeah, that's wicked. High tide gets us this, and I can see where it was at 6 o'clock. We've been here 20 minutes, or when it was high tide, so we'll make our way over there now. Just got to get over these boulders. I realize how high the water or the sea comes. That's crazy, seeing it down here and knowing what the treasures lay in there. But this sea stack is what I want to reshoot, because the last time I was here, the tide was just coming up to it and coming around. It was about halfway. I wasn't happy with the photo, but this time round it's going to work an absolute treat. Trying to wait for a perfect view for when the stack looks good. Got to go back and forth, I think. I think I'll definitely want some separation between the stack and the cliffs behind, but not too much. Don't want it to feel like it's not a part of it. But knowing it's an 8mm, I'm going to have to get really close to it. But anyway, let's go and get the lens out and I'll show you it. This is my new lens right here. The 8mm by Fuji. I was looking at third-party lenses as well, but I wanted something that was going to work, and this lens will work. But to see how small it is, it weighs 200 grams, and yeah, it's just beautiful. So we're going to get out, put our camera, set our camera up, wait for the conditions to change, which allows us time to set up. But yeah, the tide's going to quickly recede, so I want to try and get this and the conditions lining up at the right time. Now we've got the little guy on the camera. It looks so small and it feels ever so light. And we're shooting on the X-T4 because, if you're unaware, I scratched the sensor on my X-T3. No idea how. Never done that before. Anyway, let's have a look and see how close I've got to get with this. That will work exactly the way I want it to. Perfect. Just got to wait for those clouds to come over. Got Big Bertha with me today, and we've also got our Novaflex, the pouch thing. Put rocks in there, and it allows the tripod to be even more stable when we're working around waves or really long exposures where I want the tripod to be nice and stable. This guy will help me. now to see if my filter holder will actually get in the frame. Here is my step-up ring and adapter in there. You might be able to see that. Yeah, there you go. So I'll pop that on the lens now. Make sure to get it seated right. There we go. So this is my Lee 100 holder that I've had for quite some time now, and I love this holder. Just so good. So easy and simple. Now I'm just going to see if it gets in my field of view. No, it doesn't. I've got you in my field of view, but I don't have that. That's wonderful. Let's see at what point it does. Yeah, it's not getting in the shot. Oh, hang on. It just gets in the corner very slightly. I might have to put my hand on my lens shade over the front because we've got the sun coming from the left here. This is my lens shade. It's called a French flag. Film guys mainly use this, you know. Oops. Yeah, that's meant to come off. There we go. Just the first time it's come off for me. So yeah, gonna put this on, and this will allow us to shield the light from the sun off the front of the element. Turn up the camera, so I can just do that, and it will give us the shade that we want. Obviously, I've got to angle it so it doesn't come into frame, while still allowing us to get the composition that we want. And this tide is going out quick, so I've got to get this shot now. There's one big one. And I'll grab this big one from here, or this flat one here. Oh, my boot just got wet. There we go. So here are my filters in here I've been using for ages. So I probably want to go in with a 15 stop, to be honest. Actually, I need to work out my settings, don't I? Before we do any of that. So I'm going back to see the display, and I need to focus as well. I'm probably going to go f11. It's always my safe go-to thing. Probably go 100th of a second. Let's see what the histogram is saying. It's blowing out on that sky. But I need to get this shot now, so I can probably go with a 1/60th, f11 80 ISO. Let's see what my calculator tells me for my exposure. Okay, let's see what settings I need for this. That guy there, that was previous settings. So 15 stops, 160 ISO, 3 minutes 24 seconds. What is it like if I go for 17 stops? No, that's too long. I would love a 1-stop filter right now. No, we're gonna have to settle on, actually if I do f13, that'll allow me to get the exposure of 4 minutes 22. So that's what we'll do. So I'll put it back, I'll put it into bulb now. I need to get my focus, so I'll pack it into manual, aperture preview on. Can't see because of the sun. Let's see, where's that focus ring there? That's in focus. Everything in the scene should be in focus. I do have a grad in my bag as well, and I might grab that just to help that sky. And I'll bring the exposure down to f11. So here's my grad, pop that in. And I'll angle it so it blocks a bit of the sun. Yeah, it's not going to be an ideal shot. That'll be a shot. The sun isn't even covered by the clouds at the moment. Yeah, it's either I wait for the clouds to, you know, develop, which could take a while, or I just get the shot. This is more for demonstration purposes, really. So yeah, 4 minutes 22 is what I want, and I will get that shot now. Just adjust my cable release, and yeah, IS needs to be off on the camera because this is the XT4. It's got in-body stabilization. XT3 doesn't, so I'll take the shot now. So I've packed on my camera and we're heading over to another spot. And there's another subject over here with what looks to be like an old jetty, just some poles sticking out the ground. So I'm going to go over there and get a shot with the lens. So this is what I want to photograph. Haven't done this before. I really want more clouds to come over. Might wait this one out, see what happens. But as you might be able to tell, if I angle you round, is the sea isn't there for much longer. It's slowly receding and I want to get some of the sea. So we'll see what happens with these conditions. So I've got the composition that I sort of want. I've got all of the things going into the sea, including this one right here. I'm shooting a little wider with my aperture of about f13 and focusing on this one right here in front of me, which is about just over a metre in front, and then getting all the ones leading out to the sea. Unfortunately I've got things in the background but I can't do anything about that. I wish it was nice and simple and nothing else in the scene. That's just my sort of photography. I'm going to put my 15 stop on again because we're not shooting into the sun now. That's away from us and we don't have to worry about our sunshade on because it's behind us. It's not actually getting right on the filter. There we go. Now this will count down and I will be alerted when the exposure needs to be done and finished. So I look forward to seeing what this image looks like at the end. We've got some nice clouds coming over. That's the reason why I've done the ultra long exposure, because the clouds are just coming over across ever so slowly and I want to capture those and let the new lens do this. But there, the new lens is actually working an absolute treat. I was thinking I'll be able to get more in than what I was expecting, but you know, it's still 12mm in full frame format, a effective field of view anyway. So yeah, it's good, it's nice, and it's a good challenge, and it's going to be interesting to see how I go today with this lens. There was a shot I got the other day, which I want to recreate, of this concrete plinth, which is just out here somewhere, and yeah, I want to get a shot of that again. I've got my jet boil on, heating up my food, nice and hot in there, just bubbling away, getting lovely and hot. And I'm under this cliff edge, which is nice, sheltering me from the sun, and I really hope more clouds develop because clear blue sky is not really what I'm after. But if it does come to that, I can use my mist filters, and it'd be interesting to see what my mist filters are like with this lens. Yeah, I do find the smaller Fuji lenses kind of suffer with that. They don't seem to show the effect of the mist filters too well. But it'll be interesting to see. But the structure I'm waiting to photograph next is somewhere out here. I don't know where exactly it is. I think it might be that out there. There seems to be a patch of like lightness. And the concrete is lighter than everything else. But I can't tell. There's still probably an hour away until I can do that. So I'm seizing the opportunity to have some breakfast, which is great. That is so comfortable just lying down there. Got the pebbles and it just moulds to your body. It's lovely. The clouds aren't really amounting to much. There's clouds over there. I had a look on the radar. It seems to be like there might be some clouds, but we'll see. Fingers crossed we get clouds because I really want to do this. Well, we've got some clouds coming over, which is fantastic, and the tide is slowly going. I feel like I've been here for hours waiting. I think we've been waiting for about an hour now, and that patch where I thought it wasn't there. It was actually closer. And it's just here. So still got a bit longer. I've got to wait for the tide to just drop a bit more so I can go out to it. Might be able to see under here very faintly, there's a bit of concrete, and then that out there is what we're going to be shooting. Still probably another 20 minutes away, but I'm going to grab my camera gear, I'm going to bring it down here because I've had enough of being in there. It was nice having a lie down, I enjoyed that, that was good. So it's slowly getting there, more and more of itself is getting revealed. We've got the main part of the structure here, and then, yeah, as it goes through. But we want to go much closer to that structure, where it's more pronounced from everything. And since we're shooting it very wide, we need to get, you know, obviously closer, but we're going to have a nice amount of room on either side. Now I have already got my Lee mist filters out of my bag and put it onto the Novaflex pouch thing there. But what I have noticed, since I've had this for a little while now, the Velcro's starting to go, so it's not as strong as it once was. So I'll probably have to hit up Novaflex and see if I can get some new straps, otherwise I can't use it anymore. And that would be a real shame. Anyway, probably another 10-15 minutes again until we can actually get out there. Feels weird going into this knowing I'm going to get wet feet. But I've got no choice. Everything for the art. Well, this has got a bit more seaweed on it than last time. Whoa, that's a bit more slick. I need to get close for this, so I'm using my tripod to help me grip. It's very slippery in areas. Last time I was here, the seaweed had time to dry out. But here it's still wet and it's very slick. But this is revealing itself nicely. Okay, so I can't get the exposure that, well, the look that I want with the clouds. So this time around, we're going to go with our mist filter. We've got them both on now. I've got my mist grad and the strip thing going through. So the strip is for the horizon and then the grad is for the sky, and just so I can sort of balance the two up really. And I've got the depth of field preview on so I can see at what point the filter comes into play, and that looks perfect. And now we've got to just have an exposure for the water. Unfortunately, I think to the right we're going to have a bit of a hot spot because of all the reflections of the sun in the water. But yeah, there's not much we can really do about that. We'll see what we can do in editing. It's blowing out a bit there. So yeah, I'll go for a 4-minute long exposure and just use the internal timer on the camera. But I think 4 minutes 22 could be a little bit too bright with this sun. So yeah, we'll see. Something I've done now. I noticed that as I was packing up and about to move off, I've set my camera off to the side and I'm shooting portrait and shooting across the scene. Got my mist filters on, same setting, same everything, and the only thing is the tripod is up a lot higher, which you can probably tell there. If I get near it, you'll see just how tall it is. So yeah, nice and tall, and it's not even the full height yet. So I'm glad I bought this tripod with me, because it allows me to get the height that I want. So it allows me to actually look over that scene. If I had a smaller tripod, I would be probably about down here. So yeah, really makes a difference having that height and elevation. Yeah, and that tripod is so solid. Now that wind's picking up. Yeah, this is good. I feel better with this image. I think the other one, I was trying to recreate what I'd done the other day, but it wasn't working. I had a certain expectation. If I had my conditions that I wanted, those clouds being over the area, I would get the images that I want, and I would be able to share with you the way that I want. But who knows, I might be being highly critical of myself, like I usually am, and just going for trying to do the best I possibly can. And I've done the best I possibly can today with the conditions I've had. I found a wooden stump over there, and with a couple of rocks around it, and I really quite like that, so I've done a little long exposure of that, getting the tripod really low down to the ground. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing that shot, and testing out the capabilities of the lens as well. That's more what this video is about, testing the lens out, seeing how I find it. I'm loving the sharpness that I'm getting, at least seeing on the back of the camera, and the usability. The focus, I do find the manual focus is a bit sensitive is the word for it. So I'm trying to make a slight alteration, it does jump a little bit, but you know, do a little bit of back and forth, and you'll eventually get there. But yeah, anyway, I'm looking forward to getting out of here and finding somewhere different next time, because I've been to this beach, as I said, 3 times this week, and I want to go somewhere else. I want to see something else, because there's plenty of places to see in England. So much to shoot, so much variety. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye for now.